Hometown Murder Tour is a true crime podcast for entertainment purposes only, assuming you find us entertaining.
That being said, stories of violence, sexual assault, and other criminal acts will be discussed using adult language. Consider this your warning. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. We are doing this. Let's do this.
This is our podcast. I am Amy.
I am Sarah, and we are not cheerleaders.
Right. This is Hometown Murder Tour, a podcast where we talk about our local
417 murders.
Welcome. I am Amy. I already said that.
I am Sarah, and I also said that. And we are drinking wine.
Yeah, we sure are.
Because we don't drive around anymore.
We don't because of COVID.
Yeah.
But if you are just now tuning in to our podcast.
Yeah. First time.
Welcome.
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 Generally, the format would be
Uh-huh.
that Amy and I drive to the site of a crime and then talk about it.
Uh-huh.
However, we can't be that close to each other
We cannot.
because germs.
Right.
So now we're doing some cases that are maybe a little farther away. And so now we're saving gas. Because we have to save money. I mean, we're not getting that stimulus check.
We're not.
So
Yeah, no, I mean, not to bring that up, but
that's
Just
not
saying.
happening. So, I mean, it could happen. We are pre-recording. We're going to be upfront and honest with you. We don't want to lie to you. We're recording as many as we can while we're together. Because, again,
who knows what tomorrow may bring.
no, we don't know.
So we're on several hours of recording now. It may just seem like one time for you.
Right.
But for us,
several hours and several glasses of
wine.
So this may not go well.
It won't. It won't. But it's going to be fine. And we're doing it for you because we care. I'm going to sneeze, I think.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Oh, cover. We are socially distanced if you're worried. If you are just now tuning in, we are very far apart.
It's really awkward, actually,
Yeah.
how far apart we have to be. And I'm hoping the sound picks up okay.
Yep.
With us being this far apart because we only have our one little recorder.
Yeah.
We don't have microphones linked.
No, we don't have
to
the
us or
headphone.
any
We
of
don't
that.
have the full podcast situation.
I mean, send us some money and we'd be happy to do
Speaking
that.
of.
Speaking of, segue.
Merch. We've got stickers. They're amazing. They're fun. They're cute. You can put them on your computer. You can put them on your flask. You can put them on your water bottle.
We actually had my cousin bought magnet sheets, which we don't sell magnets.
No.
Because we're not.
Why are you bringing that up?
I'm just saying.
Oh, okay.
She bought a magnet sheet.
Oh, yes.
with
And put the stickers
on there,
the
and now
magnets.
she has magnets all over her fridge.
Yeah.
Hometown Murder Tour magnets. Now, if
That's
we could do magnets, we would, but we can't. So you would have to also purchase a magnet sheet.
It might be worth your time.
From your local
I'm
craft
just
store.
saying.
You need something to do. Anyway.
Let's be honest. You
So
need a project.
you get cute stickers and a DIY little craft
You're
project
welcome.
at the same time. you have
And there's
mag-
2 bundles to choose from.
Yes.
I suggest getting both.
Agreed.
But if you don't, there's 2 to
Pick
pick
one
from.
bundle. Pick both bundles.
Buy one for yourself. Buy one for a friend.
Yes.
So how you get these bundles?
Yeah.
We have a website.
We sure do.
The link is in our bio on Instagram.
Yes.
So our Instagram is...
On Instagram.
It's called...
It's like hometown murder _ a lot of underscores.
No, just one. Nope, more than one.
Yeah.
Hometown _murder _tour _podcast.
A lot of underscores. Hometown Murder Tour podcast. Each word separated by an underscore. Also, we will link our website in the podcast description. So you can find it there as well.
Yeah. I mean, if you really want it, and you really want it,
you guys, who doesn't
find
love
it.
stickers?
Everyone's all about the stickers.
Stickers are fun. So get some stickers, some Hometown Murder Tour stickers, and display them proudly. And then people will be like, where'd you get that awesome sticker? And you'll be like, oh,
this amazing podcast.
This podcast, let me tell you about it.
It's super organized.
It's super, the research.
Very professional.
Very professional. The research is top notch, second to none.
Right.
They always know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yes.
They always
research ahead of time.
Mm-hmm. One person never just like does research for one and then the other person
just reads
it.
That would be crazy.
That would be ridiculous.
Yep.
So yeah. Sound quality is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't drink multiple glasses of wine and record everything all at once, but lie and say it's in different.
Yeah. 6 weeks from now.
Yep.
So it's not December 30th right now.
Right. It is not.
It's like January 25th.
Sure. Episode 4.
Yeah.
Into this.
Something
into
like
season
that.
3. 2021.
Season 3, bitches.
We're going to do this. I think we have a review.
Read it.
That's what we're doing now. This review was from 4 months ago.
Oh, only 4?
So trying to Trying to catch up. I'm saving. We have an iTunes review, but it's like our one and only last iTunes review.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to like sit on that for a while. So if you listen to our podcast through iTunes, why don't you pop on there, give us a review, a rating first, please. Mm-hmm. And then just a little review. We'll give you a shout out.
More than 2 stars, if you don't mind.
I mean, preferably. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Please. Give us a review, and then, we'll give you a shout out for that. This one, however, 4 months ago from Podbean. So I'm going through the Podbean comments here. And this is from Heather. There's like an R and E. It looks like Heather Riddillin.
Okay.
Heather Riddillin.
Sure. What up, Heather?
Hey, Heather. This one, I love it because it says here, what's that?
Spoke to you.
It did because this was 5 months ago. So better late than never. About when we quit talking and recording. It says, I was born in Farmington, Missouri. What? That's where I'm from, you guys. So a fellow Farmingtonian, she says, I was born in Farmington, Missouri and moved back years ago. So she's back in Farmington. She says here, I remember Gina Dawn Brooks being a household name my whole life. I wish that this could be solved or some sort of miracle where she is alive somewhere. Just started this podcast today, and so far I'm loving what I'm hearing.
Well, thanks, Heather.
So Heather started this about 5 months ago. She at least she had some backlog to start with.
Like she could binge a little bit.
She could binge a little bit. Heather, I hope you're still listening. Fellow Farmington girl.
Thanks
Gina
for
Dawn
listening.
Brooks. Yeah, that was the first episode we did where we talked about those cases that kind of stuck with us, and that is kind of like a name in that area. Like if you're from that area, and if you're of a certain age, you know Gina Dawn Brooks, and so to have somebody comment, not just from Farmington, but to kind of also have that connection
that's
really awesome. So thank you, Heather. Thanks for commenting. Everybody do that. Comment, rate, review, all the things.
Send us an email. Tell us your story or a story that stuck with you. I don't know.
Anything. Just tell us.
We just need something to read.
We want to say your name on our famous podcast.
Yes.
Who doesn't want to hear that?
People. I mean, do you know,
guys,
our downloads?
Listen.
There's 5.
There's a lot of people thinking about clicking on this.
Oh, wait. You know what? Call back. Have we looked into, was it South Dakota or North Dakota? That those bitches.
I think they did finally.
I know. It was one download.
We haven't looked at any of that. We got to get on it.
I know.
Guys,
hopefully the Dakotas are back in.
We dropped it hard. We dropped all the balls.
So many balls.
Balls.
Dropped everywhere. It was like a fucking ball pit.
Like a
dirty McDonald's ball pit.
Dirty ass.
Covered in Corona.
COVID.
And not the beer.
Infested ball pit.
Yeah. Okay.
Here we go.
So,
we're going to take you on a trip So again, we're not driving, but pretend that we are.
We're driving to Trace Hollow Road in
outside of Lampe,
Missouri, which is in the Branson town, the big B town.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So this took place really close to Dogwood Canyon. So let's just talk about Dogwood Canyon for a second.
Take us there, Sarah. Take us there.
Oh, it's a lovely destination. It is owned by the
one and only
Springfield Johnny Morris, who owns
everything.
You might have heard of a little thing called Bass Pro, and he also now has bought Cabela's. So if you're from not here but somewhere where there's a Cabela, he owns this. He's from
Springfield.
Mm-hmm. He's huge. He has everything. We've got the Wonders of Wildlife. We've got Big Cedar Lodge. We've got Top of the Rock.
Yep.
So Dogwood Canyon is in the same area as Big Cedar and Top of the Rock. And it is a man-made nature trail.
Yes.
It is gorgeous. And actually in the last 2 years, he's even done more. Like there's now a restaurant and there's now it's crazy.
Like a trail, horseback riding, Segway trails.
Segways. You can take your bikes, you can walk, you can whatever. The downside is it's not a natural or a national park.
Right.
Which I guess you do pay to go to a national park sometimes.
Yeah, not like this.
Not like this. So that is the downside.
You have to pay to get in.
You got to pay to get in. I mean, you literally have to even pay just to walk the trail.
Yes. And then that's the only thing. So you pay, there's like package deals. Like if you just want to walk part of the trail even. I don't even think it's like the whole shebang.
Yeah.
You pay for that. And then to walk the whole trail, you pay for that. And if you
and
also want to go into the shops, you pay for like entrance into that. So it's like you pay.
He's no dummy.
No.
But it is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So if you're ever in the area, I actually highly do recommend Big Cedar, Top of the Rock, Dogwood Canyon. But bring your wallet.
Yeah.
Because it's all super pricey.
Yes. And it is in the Table Rock Lake area.
Yes. So it's, just even more south of Branson, almost to the Arkansas border.
Yep.
So that's how far we're going. So that's where this takes place.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Table Rock Lake, it's an artificial lake, right? I
don't know
the details.
What are they calling the Corps? The
Army Corps of Engineers or something. Yeah.
So back in the 70s, I want to say, maybe 60s, they made this lake.
Yep.
So
with their own
two hands
and American grit.
Yep. So they dammed up something, and now there's it's huge. It is enormous.
It's weirdly shaped though. It's like very
it's
snaky shaped. It's not just like a big ass round lake that you would see.
It's not round. There's all kinds of little finger
inlets and
whatever the words are.
Fingers, if you will.
I don't know. Where do I get fingers? I feel like I
mean, they look like it's weird. It's snaky.
Yes.
It's
it's a lot of. Anyway, doesn't matter.
The
point is, that's kind of the place everyone goes. So people either go to Table Rock Lake. Or Lake of the Ozarks.
Right.
Lake of the Ozarks is north.
Yes.
I'm sure we'll talk about that soon.
Yeah.
But Table Rock Lake is it's only like 30, 40 minutes from Springfield, so it's super convenient. People that have money have gorgeous homes, second homes there.
Yeah, lake houses, lake resorts.
Yeah, lots of lake living.
Yeah.
It's a thing here.
And boating and all of that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that brings us to our story. So, that's where this takes place. So, it's outside of Lampe, and the location was Trace Hollow Road in the Table Rock Lake area. It's on the lake.
Yeah.
I mean, this road is on the lake.
Do you want to say what it is?
Yeah. So, this is the murder of Paul and Margaret Brooks. It happened January 31st in 2013. And then we'll kind of give you a little bit more information about that, but I'll give you just, you always kind of do the obits.
I'll do the obit.
So, go for it.
Okay, so here's the obituaries about the Brookses. Paul and Margaret Brooks from Michigan, second home, son's vacation home near Lampe, Missouri. So Lampe is Branson area. Spent their child-rearing years making sure their three sons enjoyed a warm, close-knit upbringing in Richmond. Mrs. Brooks was an active volunteer at the local school district, while her husband coached Little League. The elder Brookses lived in Richmond for more than 30 years, raising 3 sons. Born in Canada, the Brooks were proud to attain their U.S. citizenship in their later years. Mrs. Brooks, a homemaker, has worked at both the IGA and Kmart in Richmond. Her husband was a tool and die maker in the auto industry, and following his retirement, the couple moved from Richmond to Baldwin in West Michigan. The Brooks are survived by their 3 sons, 3 daughter-in-laws, 9 grandchildren, and many friends from Michigan to Missouri. The couple was cremated, and a memorial service will be held in July. Oh, in lieu of a planned 50th wedding anniversary celebration. Paul was 71, Margaret was 69.
Yeah. So the families decided to just have a celebration of life memorial during the planned 50 wedding anniversary. I know. They were from Michigan. One of their sons, I believe, I didn't put his name or anything in there, but I believe when I looked this up, he's a physician here in Springfield, I think, and has a lake home. Okay. So they were at his home. They were staying at their son's lake home.
Got it.
A little bit of other background you're going to need to know about. We'll get a little bit more into this, but involved in this whole ordeal is a boys ranch, also in Lampe, Missouri, known as Life Under Construction Boys Ranch. So it's called Life Under Construction, or LUC, Boys Ranch. It was started in 1982 by a man named Ken Ortman. It's located in Lampe and is a residential treatment home for at-risk boys between the ages of 7 and 21.
That seems like a really big span.
Yeah. Well, here's some stuff with that.
Yeah.
So you have people 21 years old with 7-year-olds, all boys. So this is all according to Luck. I'm going to call it Luck Boys, LUC, luckboys.org. The treatment they receive at this facility is Christian counseling. They do a lot of work, a lot of outside work, training. They're all taught kind of a trade, and they're usually there for about 2 years before they're released. Okay. And I might bring this up here in a little bit, but I have a friend, also named Sarah, she's worked a lot with other organizations that help at-risk people. Not this specific one, but she's very involved in that, and social work, and all of the facilities are, and so she's...
Also, I'm clearly Sarah number 1?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Sorry, Sarah number 2.
Anyway, so just so you know, because you'll hear about this ranch later, so we wanted to give you a little bit of background about the Life Under Construction, or the Luck Boys Ranch. Okay.
Incident.
Do you want to do this?
Sure.
Or me? Or, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Or I'll do part of it.
Sure.
Okay. So, a couple days before, January 29th... 2013. Anthony Zarro, 16 years old, and Christopher Allen, 15 years, escaped from LUC. Reported missing from the Lives Under Construction Boys Ranch on January 29th, 2013. Went to a neighborhood where they had previously done yard work as part of their Luck program. Brooks's home was one where they had done work, so they had been there before.
Uh-huh.
So they apparently went there to burglarize the homes. Law enforcement says the teens had actually been on Trace Hollow Road in an empty lake house next door to the victim's home for several days before the murders. So maybe like a squatting situation, or scouting out,
Yes. So they had done yard, so it was very common. It still is very common for the boys of this ranch to do freelance work, I guess, is the way to put that. Yard work and projects and that kind of thing. So they had been in this neighborhood, in this area, doing yard work. So they knew these homes. So when these two kids escape, they go there with the intention of probably just rooting through and stealing some stuff. Yeah.
So January 31st, a neighbor to the Brooks noticed a car in the Brooks' driveway. Later, he saw the same car parked in the driveway next door to the Brookses and 2 young men carrying items from that house to the car. He observed one of the men drive the car back down to the Brooks' house and back into the driveway and the two start carrying items from the Brooks' house. He had his wife call 911 to report burglary in progress, grabbed a BB gun, which that kind of surprises me. I feel like everyone down there has a gun.
Right.
So I'm kind of glad they don't have
I
a
know,
gun.
exactly.
So grabbed a BB gun that was shaped like a 9mm and went across the street to confront the men.
So I've heard this is kind of common. This is January in a resort in a lake area.
Right,
so
so
a
no
lot of
one's
these
there.
homes are empty.
Yeah.
And so people who are, I mean, this is a common thing of like, and everybody in these areas kind of watch out. If you are there, you just are always kind of paying attention because a lot of these homes are empty.
They're
for
empty
a while.
for half the year,
Right.
so you're watching for the other people.
Right.
As the neighbor approached the Brooks' house, the two men saw him and attempted to run, but were headed off as they ran from the back door to the side of the house. The neighbor ordered them to stop and held them until Stone County deputies arrived.
So he had a BB gun, but they didn't know that.
Right.
It looked like a handgun.
Well, in 2013, did they, like nowadays that has to have an orange
I don't know.
color on it?
Well, and sometimes people,
I know
unfortunately,
they
cover it up.
paint it or whatever.
Yeah. So
It worked
anyway,
out.
he held up with a BB gun.
Yeah.
How about that?
Authorities asked the two if anyone else was inside the home. Court documents say Zarro responded, "There were two people inside and that I killed them. I beat them with a baseball bat and stabbed them."
Ugh.
Inside the Brooks' home were signs of a struggle, and in the back bedroom were the bodies of Mr. and Mrs. Brooks. They appeared they had been killed in the kitchen and dragged to the bedroom. There were signs of a struggle, and an autopsy would later show the Brookses both were stabbed numerous times and beaten with a blunt object. The autopsy showed that the two suffered several wounds that could have been fatal. According to Selby, it showed that the couple died brutal and violent deaths.
Isn't that awful?
Sue Brooks apparently had to watch her husband be killed, then fought for her own life as she was stabbed over and over again. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that awful?
Her autopsy showed she was stabbed through her open eye into her brain. Okay, so maybe we should have said trigger warning.
I mean, we do at the beginning of our
That's
episode.
True. I mean, you know what you're here for.
You know what you're here for. It's just real
I'm just
detail.
sorry.
It's bad. Just like, fuck, for what? Just to rob some shit? Like, can't you just tie him up and leave?
Yeah.
Just like...
Yeah, why do we have to do this?
Why?
I don't understand that about humanity.
Well, and I don't, like, these are obviously...
They're children, first of all.
They're children, first of all. But you're there to rob some shit, so fucking rob it. Like, rob it, run away!
Or run!
Run, or if you really want to, like, be mean...
Tie him up?
Be mean for a minute, and then just, like, go. I don't...
This is...
What the fuck? Yeah, I know.
Do you want to read the rest?
Sure.
I don't want to.
I know. The couple was attacked in the kitchen of the home and then taken to a bedroom. Authorities say they found prescription drugs belonging to the Brookses on the teen suspects, as well as the victims' identification and bank cards. Both Zarro and Allen had blood-spattered clothes. In a trash dumpster located near the Brookses' home, investigators found items from both the Brookses' residence and a neighboring residence, rags that appeared to have recently been used to clean up blood, and hair that matched Sarah's. DNA evidence showed that both Paul and Margaret Brooks's blood and DNA was present on Anthony Zarro's clothes. A wooden bedpost with blood on it was found in the car. Authorities believe it was one of the murder weapons. While authorities were taking a blood sample from the suspect, I'm not sure which one on this, and while they were taking a blood sample from the suspect, he said, "Why are you doing that? I already told you I killed them."
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's Zarro because he was the one up above that was like, Zarro and Allen were taken into custody from the scene of the murder. A few weeks later, Stone County Associate Circuit Judge Alan Blankenship ruled that the two would be tried as adults, so 15 and 16.
As they should.
I mean, fuck.
Okay.
Here we go. So then it gets into like the trial and the aftermath. And that's what most of this case is. There's a lot of aftermath involving the boys and the ranch and so on. So here we go.
So am I ruining it by asking, is this ranch still in operation?
Yeah, they still are. They have a website.
Cool.
Sure do.
Okay. So, February 2016, so 3 years later, Anthony Zarro, 19, pleaded guilty on March 14th, was given a life sentence and a 15-year sentence for 2 murders. March 2016, Christopher James Allen, 18, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder. He was then given 2 life sentences by Stone County Circuit Judge John Sweeney. The case has been moved to Boone County on a change of venue request. The sentences will run concurrently along with a 10-year sentence Allen had already received for burglary charge associated with the murders. So it sounds like they did the burglary charges first.
I think so. And they did. I think they did some plea bargaining in order to get escape death penalty and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Allen had been scheduled for jury trial April 19th, but he decided to plead guilty. According to Stone County Prosecutor Matt Selby, Allen should serve more than 30 years before he would become eligible for parole. I don't know. How about no parole?
Right? I mean, think about that. He's so young. 30 years.
He's 45.
Right.
No.
You could do this horrific thing.
Mm-hmm. And still have, let's say you get out at 45 and then still have 45 more years.
Right.
No. Okay. When Zarro was sentenced, Selby said it would be 38 or 39 years before Zarro would be eligible for parole. Selby said the ages of Zarro and Allen caused difficulty in the prosecution. Talking specifically about Allen's case, Selby said because
he was 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
The prosecution has been affected by a number of United States Supreme Court cases and Missouri Supreme Court cases that have substantially reduced the punishment that can be imposed on a person under the age of 18 who commits serious crimes, including murder. I mean, let's not get into... Missouri's fucked up in general.
Right.
So let's just be upfront about that. If you're not from Missouri...
We're so fucked up right now.
We're like... I just can't even.
Yeah. Which, speaking of, I was about to get political. Did you see that one of our senators, Josh fucking Hawley,
piece of
shit, is the first one to come out and say he's going to contest he's in the Senate. He's going to contest the election results. Which he's look for him in 2024.
Yeah, he's
ladder climbing son of a bitch.
Is awful, people.
Anyway,
awful. Okay,
but I digress.
I do, sort of. Okay.
This is 4 weeks from now, so we don't know.
I mean,
this didn't happen.
By now this has been resolved.
Yeah.
Question mark. Okay. I don't know where I left off.
I think you're just talking about how first degree murder with someone of that age.
Gotcha.
Is difficult. Whatever.
Pretty much sums up. Yeah. Okay, so you go.
Okay, so then, this is after they, the 2 kids, men, whatever, they plead guilty, yada, yada, yada. This is in 2016, correct? 3 years later. So, in August of 2016, also 3 years later, the Boys Ranch, where these guys escaped from, they are going to be named in a lawsuit citing wrongful death and wrongful entry in connection to the Brookses. So, the couple's sons... All 3 sons, they named 24 defendants from this boys' ranch in a lawsuit. They're the co-founder, the secretary, board of directors, et cetera, et cetera.
By the way, do you see who one of the board members is? Do you notice the name that I just highlighted?
It sounded familiar, but I can't.
Well, Hershins own Silver City.
Yes, and they fund this ranch
boys
a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They spend a lot.
So the Hershins are big names.
Big names.
Huge names. They own Silver City. If you've never heard of it, it's a theme park. It's huge.
Near Branson. In Branson. Same area. Yeah.
And they're just a big name.
Yes. And they fund a lot of LUC.
Yeah.
A lot of their donations come from the Hershins.
Okay.
Yup. So the sons of the Brookses sue the Boys Ranch.
Okay.
Here's what they say.
I'm fine with it.
Listen. So 3 counts. Count 1. The petition states that the defendants were aware that Allen and Zarro had dangerous propensities and emotional instabilities that required proper monitoring and supervision. Defendants were thereby aware that they posed reasonably foreseeable risk of danger to third persons, including the Brookses. They should either or both of said juveniles be away from the lives of under construction Boys Ranch without proper supervision. So basically, they're saying you knew that these were very dangerous young men, and they shouldn't have been under your care. The defendants are accused of failing to properly notify law enforcement and the surrounding neighbors that Zero and Alan had run away, which I noticed. I pulled these from there's 7 or 8 different news sources, and one of the news sources said, and we just read it above, that they had been squatting in a home for several days. Law enforcement said several days, but the Boys Ranch reported them missing 2 days before the murder. So I don't know, several days and 2 days sounds like they were gone more days than what they were reported missing. Does that sound right to you? Yeah.
There's always just...
Hey, so that we...
Technical difficulty.
We just, everything kind of shut off. Our recorder ran out of memory because I'm real bad about not removing it from the recorder.
Could you fucking do anything right?
Ooh, I even said before we did it. Remember that?
Yeah, you're like, I could take some stuff off here.
And then I just went with it, and then it cut us off. So I think where we left off was we were talking about kind of count one. These 2 guys should not have been under your care anyway. They had serious problems. They also, you took too long. Letting them know that they were missing. It says here that their facility was not adequately equipped to supervise, monitor, and control people.
Well, I'm curious, how many people were there? How many residents did they have?
I mean, I think it's. I found in one of I went digging. I got kind of into the Luck Ranch and went on their Google reviews and their website. And
their Google reviews were real fucked up. I
highly recommend you Google the Life Under Construction Boys Ranch just on Google and click on reviews and just read that. Read the comments.
You can review those things?
I guess so. Anything on Google, whatever. But at one point it said we have 24 youths, boys. So I mean, at some points they have 25.
And 2 faculty.
Probably. So that's count 1 of this lawsuit. Count 2, it goes into how the defendants were negligent. They didn't provide adequate care, custody. They didn't monitor properly.
No psychiatric medication.
Yeah, and so here's the deal. Yeah, with the Boys Ranch, okay, because it is a Christian facility. Okay, and it may not be because it's a Christian facility, but
that's in there.
One, it's a Christian facility. But one of the things Ken Ortman, the founder, they do not approve of, is it psychotropic? Is that how you say that? Psychotropic drugs. So any behavioral modification.
So basically medications that will help mental illness.
Yes, they're against.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so it says when boys arrive at LUC, they're taken off psychotropic drugs. This is from a direct quote from him from one of the newsletters. They interviewed Ken Ortman, and he says he believes that they have negative side effects. Instead, they are given holistic methods like faith, counseling, and hard work. And so count 2 of this lawsuit is what the fuck? You took these guys off their meds.
Right.
And that's your fault.
Yeah.
My friend, who is very involved in social work, she now works with adults, but spent many, many years working with teenagers and teens. She knows a lot about this, and she even said that there's instances where boys under care of this ranch will have to go outside of the ranch to get medical care.
Yeah.
And if doctors prescribe the medication, they either have to stop taking the medication if they want to come back, or they can't be allowed back.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So maybe if your kid's trouble, don't send them there.
Hugs and Jesus.
Yeah, that'll solve it. Not the brain chemistry that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm mad.
Listen, there's more. This is why you should Sarah's hearing it live, people. Just kidding.
Hey, you're not supposed to call me out.
I'm kidding.
I sort of reviewed it.
And I sort of reviewed the Buckner ones.
Okay, so we're
Listen,
even.
We're real bad about doing that. One of us will I'll do this one. I'll find the links.
It's not we're bad at it. We're efficient. You research one.
Right.
I research the other.
The problem is we don't
Then we don't review it.
Then we don't review it before we record. But anyway, there's more to this.
Not the point.
Sarah. Sorry. I just... So count 3. So this lawsuit has 3 counts. Count 1... You shouldn't have had these kids there.
Count 2.
Count 2.
Count Dracula.
What count?
1 chocolate chip cookie.
Oh. 1. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Inadequately cared for juvenile at risk. 2 inadequately cared for juveniles at risk. So count 3 basically says... you were aware that these residents, including Alan and Zara, would leave the ranch premises without permission, without supervision, and you had in place a policy not to affirmatively take steps to locate and retrieve such residents when they were away from the premises.
Well, they got away.
Right. The defendants displayed gross negligence and conscious indifference to the defendant's professional duties. According to the lawsuit, the plaintiff asked for damages in a fair and reasonable amount determined by the jury for their costs herein expended, yada, yada, yada. So that is the lawsuit. So the 2 guys have already pleaded guilty. That part's done.
Yeah.
Now they're suing the boys' ranch where they came from.
Right.
I'm real, I'm talking with my hands.
She's so animated right now. The hands are so big.
Guys. Listen.
Arms up.
So you want to read the statement from the plaintiff? So here's their, the Boys Ranch response to this lawsuit. What was that face?
I don't know. The face was, I was lost in our
Got
notes.
you.
Okay.
I'll click on it. Are you
No,
here?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. You said plaintiffs. I'm like, but it says defendants. Oh, that's the next part.
Read further.
Sorry. Wine. Okay. Statement from
And
plaintiffs.
feel free to just, skim out loud.
Okay. Am I skimming out loud?
Are you there? Where are you?
No, I'm kidding. I was reading it. Okay, the youngest son of the Brookses spoke with Branson Tri-Lakes News Monday about the lawsuit. We would like people to know that our goal is to protect the people of southern Missouri. LUC is not what they appear to be. They are not what they appear to be at all. Brooks and his wife issued the following statement. The long-troubled LUC ranch has a history of several state investigations, repeated escapes of those under their responsibility, and a prior death of an escapee.
Which I didn't get a chance to look into that. An escapee death.
Get on that.
So LUC ranch
Escapee
death.
Mm-hmm.
Gina. Hey,
Gina!
Hi, Gina. Find that. Okay.
Find that for us.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Their failed policies and lack of appropriate security have now allowed 2 brutal murders at the hands of dangerous young men under their custody, for which the ranch had responsibility for supervising, monitoring, controlling their activities. The ranch has surrendered their state license. They are not qualified to protect the surrounding community from these individuals who have often failed the mission by other residential facilities out of state. So, they've even been kicked out of other places.
Right, and I don't. As of this, they did not have a state license when this was happening.
So it was just
it's a church. It's a Christian organization. It's a church.
So they don't have to have
boys, right? So they don't have to be held to the same standards.
There are many things I want to say right now.
I know,
but I'm not gonna.
But that happens a lot, and we see that a lot. I'm gonna get into the whole charter school shit with religious schools not being held to the same standards. Because they play the church card and the religious card. And this sounds like this is the same thing.
But God.
Hugs and Jesus. You don't need meds.
Nope. I will solve everything.
So what's there? Sorry, I said plaintiffs. My bad.
No, that was the plaintiffs.
I know, but I was like, here's what the ranch had to say. I misspoke because of wine.
Oh.
Here's what the ranch had to say. You want to read
you wanted to read that.
No.
You wanted to read it.
Yeah.
You wanted the good parts.
Do it. What do they say?
Okay. The defendants.
Explain yourself, Ranchy McGee.
I'll explain myself. Everyone associated with Lives Under Construction Boys Ranch wants to convey the deepest sympathies to the Brooks' family for their losses.
I'm sure they felt real. Like that's.
I'm sure they did. Right. I mean, I don't think they had nefarious.
No,
intentions.
I think their hearts are in the. Even now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Of course,
there's some weird shit.
Kids.
Get on them Google reviews, you guys. There's some weird shit, and we'll talk about their website too. You need to go to their website.
Yeah.
Click on some stuff on that. However, heart's probably in the right place, and they probably have helped a lot of young men.
I'm sure they have.
Who have been struggling.
However,
please continue. Hugs and Jesus.
That's my next tattoo.
Right? I feel like that's our episode title.
Hugs and Jesus?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
And you really wanted it, Amy. You said it 10 times, so. Anyway.
Every time we say hugs and Jesus, take a drink.
Yeah. Our hearts break when we think of pain and sorrow that these unthinkable and senseless acts of violence causes the Brooks family. Mm-hmm. Lives Under Construction has no experience with this type of tragedy. For more than 30 years, Lives Under Construction has worked with youth who have had trouble with their family relationships who need assistance making a difficult transition to adulthood. Lives Under Construction applies Christian principles to help develop healthy and productive adults. Luck policies were reviewed and approved by Missouri Department of Social Services. Okay. The lawsuit seeks to hold Lives Under Construction, its employees, and board of directors responsible for crimes committed by the boys 2 days after they left the ranch. Lives Under Construction, its employees and board of directors played no role in these crimes. We believe Missouri law supports the dismissal of these lawsuits, blah, blah, blah.
Which, I mean, we also have some secular at-risk programs, and would they be held liable? Should they be held liable? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. No. I'm just saying, like, if you have this situation, however... I'm
clearly a lawyer and judge and all of those things. But I just feel like, is it their fault?
Right.
No.
However, I do feel, unlike some of these other organizations that are giving them medication, you do have that line of like, well, you're keeping them from getting this care that they may need.
Right.
And so then are you a little bit responsible? Not necessarily for the act itself.
Right.
But are you negligent in a sense? I don't know.
Right. And I just don't get the disconnect between Christianity and medication.
Right. And medicine.
And
science.
Science?
I know.
Don't even get me started. Okay.
So here you go, you guys. It's a 2-week trial. The cost of this, what do they call that? Payout, whatever, of the lawsuit. It was $7.6 million, but in between $7.6 million and $21 million. It was a jury trial. The jury decided that the ranch was not liable for the couple's deaths. So the lawsuit failed.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Okay. A lawyer for Luck described the ranch as a transformative place for boys whose parents and society had given up on them. The lawyer said the ranch has helped hundreds of boys improve their behavior through hard work and Christian faith and by taking boys off their psychiatric medication. So this was like in the trial, kind of their closing statements or whatever. The lawyer for the Brooks family painted a grim picture of the ranch, saying runaway sexual abuse, which we'll get into, burglaries and other crimes were commonplace. The ranch leadership was aware of this, didn't do anything about it. The prosecution argues that Luck made critical errors, that they were unequipped to deal with the two gentlemen. They were taken off their meds. Alan, who was one of the guys that committed the murder, his mother even questioned whether he should be institutionalized. So they kind of have documentation of this. He had been quoted saying, like, I need to go to a detention facility or I'm going to hurt somebody. And, like, he wasn't. They had severe mental health issues, were prone to violence. The ranch kind of didn't deal with that. The ranch's attorney, however, you want to do that? In his closing arguments.
Okay. So in the closing arguments, the ranch's attorney, John Schultz, repeatedly told jurors that The case hinged on whether the ranch, its founder, or his wife directly caused or contributed to the murder of Sue Brooks. Point number 1, the boys were high and drunk at the time of the murders, Schultz said, though Coward said there was no evidence to support that. So, I don't know, did they have blood results or...
Yeah, it's never really mentioned that they were drunk or high. They mentioned that there were prescription drugs taken.
Mm-hmm.
On the Luck Ranch website, they go into super detail. Like it says, we'll talk about that in here in a minute, but they bring that up several times. Like they were drunk, they were on drugs, they were under the influence. And I didn't see that anywhere in any of the other articles.
Actual evidence.
Right.
And it says there's no evidence to support that.
Right.
Schultz acknowledged that Sue Brooks had died a horrific death and that his clients were not perfect. Understatement of the fucking century.
Right?
Lives Under Construction has had a, quote, remarkable string of successes. And you know what? I'm sure they did.
Right.
Because I'm sure certain people respond to certain kinds of things.
Yes.
But when you are mentally ill...
Yes. A little bit of hard work and praying isn't going to cut it.
I mean, it might get you through a few days, but...
Right.
Anyway. Lives Under Construction has had a, quote, remarkable... Oh, I said that. By swapping out the psychiatric medication for the love and the hugs, recreation, faith. Mm-hmm.
Love and hugs.
Love and hugs. No, wait, you said Jesus and hugs.
Oh, I'm not going to say it anymore.
Yes, drink, people.
Hugs and Jesus.
Yeah. What message is this going to send to other facilities? Schultz asked, why would you do this job? Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, it just kind of goes and goes. So, this is interesting. Prosecution mentioned that for years the ranch was told over and over again by the state of Missouri to not take boys off their medication without trained psychologists or psychiatric monitoring them.
No shit.
You think?
I mean, first of all, let's talk about how antipsychotics work.
Right.
You can't just stop taking them. That actually makes it worse. They have to be weaned off. They have to be...
So I wonder how much of that, obviously it said to 21, which I find interesting, that you would put yourself into care, because at some point you're a legal adult.
Yeah, but even with public education, kids on IEPs can go to school till 21.
Okay.
Depending on their certain
I'm just
diagnosis.
wondering, I know at some point, if you're a 12-year-old, right, and you're on certain medications, but mom and dad are convinced by this ranch that you don't need to be on, that they can pull you from those meds. But as a 19-year-old,
you can say
who's
probably
at this ranch,
but they even said earlier, it's their policy.
Right.
So if you want to be here, you're not on them.
Right.
You can be on them.
Yep.
But you're not here.
Yep. It's real fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So the lawsuit, the jury says no. They're not liable. The Luck Ranch is not liable. During this time, though, and interviewing all of, a lot of
the
residents at this, some stuff starts coming out.
Of course it does.
Of course it does. So they start interviewing these boys at the ranch, and even boys who had been at the ranch. So, past whatever. And so there's now this whole sexual abuse shit that comes about, which you brought up. You have 7-year-olds
to
21-year-old all together.
You don't think shit's gonna happen? We're not
all
dumb.
Those boys together. Come on.
I mean, I've seen the movies.
Also, you can't.
And they're troubled.
And they're troubled.
And they've been abused.
And many have, I'm sure. And you have that power dynamic. You have a 7-year-old kid with an 18-year-old kid. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Yep.
So of course there's going to be these allegations come up. So after the initial trial, abuse accusations begin to surface. All claimed sexual assault happened at the ranch by older boys they were placed with. They claimed that the ranch did nothing after reported. I didn't find a whole lot. I also didn't dig real thorough on the individual lawsuits. There's a lot more about the fifth accuser, the final one.
Yeah.
So overall, there were 5 accusations.
Okay.
And I thought there was more details from the fifth one, but it sounded like it was all very similar, like each of these accusations. So the fifth accuser was in December of 2019. He claimed he was sexually assaulted by an older teen at the ranch. He's the fifth child to sue the ranch. He was punished. He says he was punished after coming forward about the abuse. And, of course, the Luck Ranch denied. Absolutely not. According to the lawsuit, the boy's stay at LUC happened years ago when the boy was 12. John Doe, 5, says he was sexually molested and physically assaulted by several older teenage residents. When he spoke up about the abuse, he was forced to perform 100 hours of labor with the very people who molested him. And then he says he was, like, assaulted because he reported.
Of course.
Right? The attorneys claim that LUC didn't tell the state about this incident and didn't provide proper psychiatric care for the boy. So what happened, and then it just kind of ended. Like, the last bit was like, hey,
the end.
News leader says in 2019, fifth accuser, and then it just kind of drops off. And then I went digging on the Luck website, which I need you to just, like, click on that link real quick. So there's a link, scroll down to the very last. It's luckboys.org, lucboys.org.
Yep.
Go there. And the way their website is set up, it's real weird. It looks very late 90s.
Like MySpace?
No.
Oh, it is. It's awful.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it's like... No. That's not how you do a web page.
Okay. So there's that. It's real late 90s. Like, the internet, Al Gore just invented the internet, and then we just, like, got a website. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so go over on the left to where it says home, which you're on home. Go to About Us. Are you over there?
Yeah, well, so hard. Sorry.
It's just like a little hover. Hover.
Yeah.
Allegations. Boom.
Why would you even put that on your
They're very defensive. Very defensive. I mean, it says, you hover on About Us, and it says, About the Ranch.
I don't think I'd put that on there.
Allegations. Immediately. And click on that, and there's a whole big-ass spread.
Yep.
Defending themselves. So this is from that. So according to them, it appears that these cases, 4 out of 5 were settled out of court. Okay, and so it says here, this is from their website. Out of the many former boys and staff that the plaintiff's attorney contacted, 5 of the boys could not resist the temptation of receiving large sums of money, and so filed suits.
You know what? Fuck off.
Right?
I'm mad.
Listen.
I'm mad.
Says, and so filed suits of their own against the Luck Boys Ranch. The plaintiff's attorney convinced them, at his own financial gain, to file allegations of abuse and or neglect against Luck and the Ortmans to make his case look better. This is on their website. All of those allegations had already been investigated by the Missouri DSS at the time of the alleged incidents. Every allegation was proven to be unsubstantiated, the Ortmans and all other staff. However, when a suit is filed, we still have to fight it and prove our innocence. Insurance companies know that it's sometimes cheaper to agree to a settlement than to pay for the attorney costs and other costs to fight a suit. As the attorney for the boys saw that the credibility of his cases was disintegrating rapidly, a settlement was made through mediation on 4 of the 5 suits.
I hate them.
That's on their web. Like, that is on there. You're looking at it. Like, you are on that website. It's very
Here's
interesting.
Here's what's funny. So you hover over About Us.
Uh-huh.
It's about the ranch.
Uh-huh.
Second, allegations.
It's
second.
Straight, like, it's
instead of vision, mission statement, statement of faith, board of directors, news articles.
Oh, no.
I know they went... No, they didn't even... I was about to give them, like, they went alphabetical. No, they didn't.
No.
Why the fuck? How did not even include it?
It's right up there. Or bury it somewhere. They're very defensive. And I'm telling you, people, go to Google and Google Life Under Construction Boys Ranch, and just on the general Google where it shows, like, hey, we're open, we're closed, whatever, click on reviews. And
or
start
here,
reading.
Send an email at the very bottom of their website. Send an email to Sheila at luckboys.org with questions.
No, they say many times, like, we want you to contact us if you have a problem, blah, blah, blah. But I just found it odd that, like you said, it's about us, about the ranch, which is just like, here's the grounds map, here's what we've done, here's our history. And then second,
it's allegations. And why would they not do a mission statement and vision and blah, blah, blah?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 12 paragraphs of just this whole, like, their side of it.
I feel like I've done web pages before, I need to contact them and say, hey, this isn't how it's done.
It's real interesting.
Can we switch to at least, like,
the whole layout?
A Wix page?
Something's real rough.
It's not good.
HTML.
Yeah.
That.
It's not good.
Listen, and I feel
many words.
I don't want to despair. Like, I am sure
they have helped many
people, and I don't want to, like, harass anybody or whatever, but I just don't
agree with non-medicating people that have mental health issues.
Well, I have a problem with, like, we're going to pray your mental illness away.
Yeah,
that's
not how it works.
And that's not how it works. And I'm worried that, yes, they have helped a lot of people, but I'm worried, and sorry, I'm just, like, stammering. The poor young men who come here who really need true help and don't get it, and in fact get worse.
Get worse.
Of it.
Get
you know
abused,
what I mean? Get abused. Get shamed.
Yep.
Anyway. So that's that.
That's real shitty, Amy. Nice face.
Sorry, it started with a horrific murder of a lovely couple, and it ended with a whole lot of shit.
Like, just.
But we didn't have to drive there, so there's that.
Although we could have had, like, a lake vacation.
True, shit. We could have gone to the lake. God damn it.
God, you ruined it.
Fuck.
No, maybe next summer. Next summer when we're vaccinated and
COVID's over, just like that.
It won't be over, but maybe we'll feel safer.
Right.
We go to the lake, get a cabin, and then we do all the murders.
And then we'll be scared to death.
Yeah. And we won't leave our cabin.
Nope. And
But you'll know about all the murders.
But you'll know about all of the lake
murders.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun.
We'll have to do, like, Lake of the Ozark and Table Rock Lake and all the lakes, just, like, add a lake.
Correct.
Done.
Okay.
So, thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. How do we end? Follow us on Instagram and Twitter
at Murder Tour
and Hometown Murder Tour podcast on Instagram.
And rate us, review us wherever you listen to us. Comment, subscribe,
do all the things.
Email us if you'd like. 417hmt@gmail.com.
And we did it.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Buy stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Buy our shit. Bye.